Hello again guys, it's Carly from the Poetry of Night and I have another weekly sales video for you guys. This is for both Etsy and eBay and it is for the dates between the 23rd of January to the 29th of January. So still played a little bit of catch up as a week, kind of a week behind myself as it were, but still staying consistent with a weekly video. So, you know, thumbs up for that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just kind of jump in. I will show you each item that's sold on each platform. I'll let you know what the buyer paid. Buyer pays shipping pretty much all the time with my items. If there's any kind of change with that where I did pre-shipping, I will let you guys know. I'll try and remember to let you guys where I got know where I got the items from and how much I paid for them originally. And at the end, I'll kind of summarize for you and let you know how much I actually made after fees and cost of items, and all those different things come into consideration so you can get kind of the real deal. Okay, so the very first item I've got to show you is this little ink stamp, little cat stamp. I actually paid $2 for this, which I know now is way too much at a thrift store. It was a bit of an experiment trying to see what kind of craft supplies do actually sell. This eventually sold for $6.95, so not too much profit, but again, something that I got to learn about. Another pair of eyeglasses sold. I paid about $3 for these, and that was in a lot from eBay where I just kind of parted them out. And it was roughly $3 a piece, and these sold for $34.95, which is pretty standard for my vintage eyeglasses. This vintage Goofy shirt, which is made in the USA, or sweatshirt, I should say, really. I paid 64 cents for this at a church rummage sale, and this sold for $19.95. Again, buyer paying shipping. Some more wrapping paper sold. This was actually cut, but it was quite a fair amount, very, very large sheet all folded up on itself. Just kind of like a Christmas poinsettia kind of design happening. I paid about 10 cents for this at a rummage sale, and this sold for $9.95. This little lot of vintage children's books, like nursery books and stuff, this sold. I actually paid 5 cents a piece for these books. So 20 cents is everything I have in this lot that you see before you. I'll let you have a quick look through. So a very nice vintage Disney book here that was actually from 1939, which is kind of exciting to me. I do love my old books, and among other very nice vintage children's books. But as you can see, there is definitely some wear. As you can see right here. I made sure to disclose that in both the photographs and the description. And like I said, 20 cents total is what I have in this book lot, and they sold for $29.95. This little vintage Minnie Mouse cheerleader plush, she was by Applause. Got her for $2 at a yard sale, and she sold for $24.95. Still had her tag on here. This finally sold. This took a year to sell, and I really thought it would go faster because I thought it was super cute. And what it was a Curious George, like a light switch plate, as you can see here, ceramic. And I paid 50 cents for this at a yard sale, and it finally sold for $9.95. This little candle here actually took less than a week to sell, so obviously I should not have put off listing it for as long as I did. But I got this free at an estate sale. I went to go buy it, and the woman kind of looked at me and she was like, "Oh, you can have that for free," as though why on earth would you want an old candle? But I wanted it because I sold it for $9.95 in less than a week. So old vintage candles do not do too badly for me, I have to say. And then the final thing that I sold on Etsy this week is this pack of vintage playing cards with this really cool kind of 70s psychedelic paisley apple thing happening. I don't know. These took a while to sell as well, and I thought they were super cool, and they came with their original box. I was surprised they took so long. But anyway, I paid 40 cents at a yard sale, and they sold for $8.95. Okay, my only sale on eBay, because I have to say I have not been listing on eBay. I am currently going through my inventory that is sort of left behind from last year's season when it ended in the fall, because I tend to stick to like garage sales and rummage sales, all those kind of things to really keep my outgoing costs down. I don't do much to do with thrift stores at the moment, and most of what I have left over that I'm kind of plowing through now is really Etsy stuff. Like, it's next to worthless on eBay, but it does well on Etsy. Go figure, just different marketplaces. But this was like a wireless blood pressure machine. We actually had this for free. We just had this around the house. We never opened it. It was still new and sealed. And we don't need it. We have a blood pressure machine. I don't know why we have this one. I guess it was like a healthcare bonus thing. So I sold it, and it took just a couple of days to sell, and it was sold for $59.99 with buyer paying shipping as well. So my gross profit for this week for those sales I showed you was $215.54. The amount that I spent on every item that I just showed you was a grand total of $8.84. So not too much put into that in the way of investment, other than time. And then so my net profit, and this is after like listing fees, final value fees, PayPal fees, eBay store fees, all these different elements, and the amount that I spent on actually purchasing the items. The grand total that I made this week was $188.46. Just for anyone who doesn't know, I tend to put in maybe 1 to 2 at the most hours a day at the moment. So I'm extremely part-time. So bringing in sort of close to $200 is not at all bad for the amount of time that I'm kind of plugging away at this at the moment. But as the season picks up and garage sales and things start to get going, I cannot wait. I will be doing more listing and things like that. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're all having a good winter. Get that sunshine when you can. Click the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. I do sales videos every week, and I do my best as well to do haul videos. Whenever I do kind of pick up some new stuff, again, as the season starts in a month or so, those haul videos will be weekly again, which I'm really excited about doing. All right, guys, hope you all are well and have an amazing week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.